Hello and welcome back for another edition of Fisher Football Focus. I'm your host, James Bailey. Undefeated through 6, Fisher was looking to continue their winning streak and move to 7-0 for the first time since 2010. Their opponent Utica was 4-2, coming off 2 straight losses, knowing that they needed a win to stay alive in the Empire 8 picture. The Cardinals were a perfect 15-0 against Utica all-time coming into Saturday. Let's see if they kept both streaks alive. Scoring was hard to come by in the first half. Here Utica would try to get on the board first, only to have their field goal blocked by senior Anthony Lee. Utica would later convert on a field goal, and then, with under 2 minutes left in the half, the Pioneers' Ryan Burnett takes this handoff 11 yards to the promised land for the game's first touchdown. Utica would botch the extra point, making the score 9-0. The Cardinals would work their 2-minute drill to perfection, getting deep into the red zone. Quarterback Matt Nathan, returning this week from injury, lofts one into the end zone, only to get picked off by Utica's Anthony Bobrun to preserve the Pioneers' 9-0 lead heading into the half. Utica kept it rolling early in the second half. Lindell Reed this time takes the handoff to the left 33 yards into the end zone to extend Utica's lead. After going 3 and out on offense again, Fisher finally has some good luck. Utica's Teddy Van Galen hits his receiver on the slant, but turnover king Alec Mortellaro forces the ball out. Evan Majewski jumps on the ball for the Cardinals, and suddenly Fisher has the momentum. They took the ball on a short 37-yard drive, capped by a Tony Fusco touchdown in his first game back since Cortland. The ensuing 2-point conversion would be stuffed, however, leaving the score at 16-6 Utica. Later in the quarter, Utica would again extend their lead. Reed again from 2 yards out to make the score 23-6 Pioneers. Fisher would need to play perfect the rest of the game to have a chance. On the ensuing kickoff, Ryan McQuinlan takes the ball over the 20 but fumbles. Utica would hop on the ball and Fisher's comeback hopes would be squashed. Utica would hold on to win the game 23-6. Nathan struggled in his return while Fusco scored Fisher's lone touchdown. The loss drops the Cardinals to 6-1 on the season and 4-1 in the Empire 8. Taking a look now at the Empire 8 standings, Fisher drops out of the conference lead with the loss. The Cardinals meet conference-leading Alfred on November 12th in their final regular season game. After the break, I'll be joined by seniors Anthony Lee and Jerry Warner, so stay here.
What gets you moving?
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
You fuel your body,
and your mind.
whether you like to throw around the football,
or ride your bike, pop an ollie on your board,
Dance in your room.
play frisbee in the park,
Kick the soccer ball around. Or just run around with your friends.
Get up, play, and do it your way every day.
moving every day helps give you a healthy body and mind.
And that makes you part of a winning team. Hey, that was my line!
so be a player.
Be a player.
Be a player.
Be a player.
You'll have more energy to do all the things you like to do.
And tackle anything.
Just be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc.
Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
That's www.letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to Fisher Football Focus, joined now by 2 seniors on the team. We got Anthony Lee back again, and we got Jerry Warner. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So, you guys, coming into the week, obviously the big key usually to shutting down Utica is shutting down quarterback Teddy Van Galen. You guys did a pretty decent job with that, but kind of what was unforeseen was they kind of went out there and had a lot of success running the ball on the ground. You got Burnett had 204 yards and a touchdown. You had Reed with 62 yards. They had 2 scores. So what do you guys see out there that kind of caused them to go out there and just kind of run the ball down your throats?
I think it all goes back to just the things that we learn fundamentally. It's just making sure that we're reading our keys, hitting the gaps that we need to hit, and then making sure that we're making those tackles. I think we had a lot of opportunities to make those key tackles so that he wasn't running all over the field, but granted, we weren't really fundamentally sharp on the field, which is how he was able to run all over us.
Yeah, we got to stay focused on the basics and stay focused on our, like Anthony said, our fundamentals. Getting off blocks and making sure we fill our gaps when it comes to blitzing and things like that.
And can you take anything away from him? I mean, like you said, Teddy Van Galen's one of the more dangerous quarterbacks in the Empire 8. You guys did a great job slowing him down. So can you look at that as kind of like a positive moving forward and still take some good things away from this?
I would say, yeah. I mean, shutting down a quarterback is always a key thing because if they're going to be a passing threat, then we want to try to take away their bread and butter and then make them get uncomfortable, which is they had to move to running the ball, which they were pretty well at since we did shut down their vertical threat.
I mean, I think there was a ton of positives to come out of this game, actually. We may not have stopped the run as far as yards goes as much as we would have liked, but we didn't break when we were put into a lot of tough situations as far as field position goes, and they could have put up a lot more points on us, and I think we did a pretty good job of not breaking. Anthony blocked a field goal early in the game, and there's a couple times where we were set back in our own red zone, and we didn't break. We either got off the field or we held them to just kicking the ball. So.
Yeah, and Anthony, you had a great individual game with you had 12 tackles, forced fumble, you had that blocked field goal. So can you take anything, knowing that you went out there and did your all, can you still come out with a little bit with a positive for yourself, knowing that you yourself played a personally good game?
I think I'd say I played pretty decent. I wish I played even better, which I don't know anyone could say, but I think as far as like my contributions to the team, I would say I would benefit from it. I think it really helped us as a defense come together and keep fighting.
Yeah, I want to bring up, seen you and some other starters play a lot of snaps on special teams this year, and we've seen past 2 weeks back-to-back, you've made a big play with a fumble recovery and a kickoff last week. You had the block field goal this past week. We see a lot of special teams, usually younger guys trying to get them experience on the field. So obviously you being a senior starting, playing every defensive snap, do you like being out there on special teams? Is something
I love it. I think special teams is really fun, and I know that the coaches are stressing that they want to put their best 11 guys out on the field at all times. So that goes for defense, offense, and also special teams. I don't think it's bad that I'm on special teams. I love it, and I love going out there and having fun. It's kind of like a different thing where I get to run down there and just hit someone essentially when I, have to do my responsibilities as well. But on defense, it's more like I got to make sure I protect the pass first and then come up on the run. Whereas for special teams, I'm going down there and making some tackles.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know special teams is very important. It's very important when you stalemate on offense and defense. Can be the turning point in the game, whether it's momentum or winning that field position battle is really important. Setting up your defense and your offense to be successful. Yeah.
So Jerry, moving on to you. If you were to go on the Fish website, look you up on the Athletic website, not a whole lot on you. Kind of a little bit of a journey to get to this point. Can you kind of walk through what got you to this point here at Fisher?
I played locally at Fairport, and then I was a quarterback there, and I went on to Edinboro, and I was a quarterback at Edinboro. It's like 20 minutes south of Erie. They play like Slippery Rock and some of those other teams. I ended up transferring here after my 3rd semester there, and I played quarterback here. Started on JV my first year here, and then I ended up leaving school. I wasn't going to school anymore. I took time off to focus on some other things, and I'm happy to be back. Whether it's switching sides of the ball or it doesn't matter to me. I love the game so much, and I love this team. This team's like no other. It really isn't. I've played on a couple different teams, and this team is very close, very value oriented, very family oriented, and we all care about each other a lot, and we all care about the game a lot. So I'm happy to be playing no matter what side of the ball I'm on or what position I'm playing.
Right. And you mentioned that you had to make the transition from quarterback. Now you're playing on the defense side of the ball. It's been a difficult transition for you? Have you found that you've found successful places?
It's definitely been a process. I hadn't played defense since I was a junior in high school, but like I said, I love football altogether, whether it's offense or defense. So as much as it has been a grind to learn a new position and to get that defensive mentality back into your head, it's been really enjoyable, and I love these guys on the defensive side of the ball.
So moving on to a little more general stuff. You guys are both seniors, correct? So off to this 6-1 start. So a good start of the season. Has the way this team played kind of matched what your expectations were coming into this season? Did you see yourself at 6-1 at this point going into the bye?
Truthfully, I would say we came in as a team with one goal of, winning outright the Empire 8, and that's what each week we strive to do, is basically, beat that competition that we have on Saturday, work hard in practice, play our hearts out on Saturday, and then keep rolling. That's basically what I expected to do coming into camp, and then that's basically what we've been doing.
Yeah, it was easy to recognize the talent on this team. Coming, like I said, when I transferred in my freshman year, or not freshman year, but my first year here, we ended up going to quarterfinals of the NCAA, and I think this team has the same level of talent, if not more. And tons of teams have talent, but we're really starting to put it together. I think this might have been a setback, this week, but we just got to focus on the next game, and our goal is still the same, and that's to win the E8 outright. And there's still a strong possibility that we can do that as long as we remain focused and keep it together. I think the bye week is going to be huge. Get our legs back, get healthy, and remain focused on Ithaca. One game at a time, one step at a time, one play at a time.
Yeah, and so you guys both being seniors now, more than halfway through the regular season, so your time here as a Cardinals dwindling a little bit. Does it bring a little bit more to the game? Are you gonna play? Do you feel like you're playing with a little more urgency, knowing that your days are numbered playing football here at Fisher?
Yeah, I'd say I came in here wanting to leave some type of legacy. I've had the opportunity of playing on this team as a freshman coming in, and this is my senior year, and I want to make sure that not only for myself but for all the rest of the seniors that we go out the way that we wanted to go out, and that's as a winning program essentially. So as the games come down to an end, it's pretty sad to say, but I would say we need to make our legacy and make our mark here on the Fisher football program.
Yeah, football is one of a kind, You can play other sports, recreationally outside of school and outside of amateur and professional sports, but once football is over, it's over. You don't really get to play the game like you did every Saturday or every Friday in high school. Once it's over, it's over. So every game is very valuable, very important, and I think our seniors realize that, and I think our team realizes that in general, that every week is very important. So
as your days as a Cardinal on the football field are numbered, so are your days as a Cardinal in the classroom. You guys, seniors, are going to be graduating this upcoming spring. I wanted to elaborate on what your major is and what your degree is going to be in, what your plans are after graduation.
So I'm a sport management major. I also have a minor in finance. I just finished an internship over the summer with Dick's Sporting Goods down in their corporate office in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then I essentially got a full-time offer to return back there in their merchandising trainee program, which I'll be starting next September. So going there, I'll have an opportunity to get a whole rotation of the company before getting placed into my permanent position.
Nice.
And I'm a communications major with a marketing minor. And I got to do an internship over at Entercom. I was on the ESPN radio show with Dan Barella and Scott Petoniak.
Oh, nice.
Which that was a great opportunity, a great experience. And I'm thinking actually about moving on to graduate school after this December. And I want to either get my MBA or my master's in marketing, I think.
Nice.
So.
All right, and finally, obviously the bye week this week, so no next week game to talk about, but what are the plans for you guys for the team this bye week to help kind of get healthy and move down the stretch of the Empire Race schedule?
I think for us to just really focus on the mistakes that we've made in the past and really clean up our fundamentals and get our heads back focused on what we need to be doing out in the football field. So utilizing this bye week as a time to recuperate essentially, and then really focus on what we need to in order to go out and be very successful for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's a long season, and football is a tough game. It's pretty tough on your body, so I think the bye week couldn't have come at a more perfect time. I think it'd be good for us to make sure we're eating right, staying hydrated, staying stretched out, taking care of your legs is very big, and taking care of your body. And we're just gonna focus on Ithaca. That's the next game. That's the next goal. It's the next step in the path to where we want to go, and we're going to focus on that this week and next week.
All right, nice, guys. Thank you very much for being on. Good luck moving forward.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're talking offense next. After the break, I'll be sitting down with offensive lineman Kyrie Demos, so keep it here.
if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
Welcome back to Fisher Football Focus, joined now by offensive lineman Kyrie Demos. Happy to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So last week I had Austin Beck was one of my guests. We talked about how the offense, there really wasn't a game where you guys didn't go out there and just move the ball consistently. You know, you guys put up almost at least 30 points every game, other than that Buffalo State game. And finally, you kind of hit that wall this week and had that game where your offense really struggled as a whole. So, what were you seeing out there? What were the specifics?
It was tough. We had a tough day. I think it was a mix of things. We weren't really finishing in the red zone because we got down to the red zone. I want to say 3 or 4 times throughout the game. We weren't really consistent in our run or pass game throughout the day. So, when you're not having a lot of consistency, you're not finishing drives, you're not going to put up a lot of points. And, it showed. We, just had a tough day, but I feel like, we wash that out of our system, we'll be fine moving forward.
Yeah, and it was, you had brought Matt Nathan and Tony Fusco back from injury that game. Obviously, Utica was a big game, and you saw, just didn't quite look like their normal 100% selves. Didn't look like they were quite 100%. So, obviously, more of a question for a coach. But do you think that, if you could stay consistent with the guys you've been using the past couple of weeks that are 100% healthy, you might have had a better chance, or is it's Matt's team? Just give it to him.
I would say, with Matt, we like to get him, we wanted to get him in as soon as we possibly could, Obviously, Colin played phenomenally in the two starts that he had. But at the end of the day, Matt, fifth-year senior, before he got hurt, was leading the conference in almost every passing category. So, losing a player like that, you have to get him back in as soon as you possibly can. A little bit of rust, but, sometimes that happens. But I think he's going to be fine. As far as Tony goes, I feel like Tony played well, but he just didn't get too many carries. But that's okay. We were just easing him back into the system. You never want to rush something like that, especially with an injury like his, dealing with an ankle injury, and he's had ankle problems before. So, I just felt like it was the best to at least, ease him into things before we give him a full workload again.
Yeah, you mentioned Tony didn't carry the ball very much. You only hand the ball 13 times between Fusco and Chris Smith, and so especially as an offensive lineman, it's got to be a little frustrating. Was that kind of a you guys got behind a little bit early and had to start throwing the ball, and that's why you guys never really established a running game? It
was tough. I feel like we didn't have a lot of success early with the run game. So, once we got behind, it's tough to really try to force the issue with the running game when you are behind like that. So, it's something that, as an offensive lineman, you always want to run the ball. Obviously, getting big plays in the passing game is huge, but running the ball keeps the defense honest and really wears down the team. So, but yeah, we got behind early, and we really didn't have an established running game to begin with throughout the day. So, it's really what it came down to.
So, you've been playing football long enough to know that you have bad games. What do you kind of do as a team and personally kind of bounce back from that?
Just gotta look at the mistakes that we made as a team, and just really realize, okay, if this happens again, obviously it's going to be a problem moving forward. There were some mistakes across the board, not just on the offense, defense, special teams as well. So, just got to take a look at the mistakes we've made and, just correct them. That's really all it comes down to. You learn. They always say you learn more from a loss than from a win. And, realistically, it's true. In a win, yes, obviously there's mistakes, but you can always say, okay, well, it didn't really affect the game that much if we win in the game. So, but, like I said, just got to, look at the mistakes we made, just come back ready to work and correct them.
And so, as mentioned, this weekend aside, your offense has been great all year. Had several guests on talk about give their take on what's been good. You hear a lot of stuff about tempo, you guys have a lot of experience on that side of the ball, and you guys are just going out there and playing your game. So would you agree those are kind of like the keys that have led to your offensive success throughout the year?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think, tempo, I think, has been one thing that's hurt a lot of teams. They haven't been able to keep up with our speed, our pace as an offense. But also, too, I really just think the depth that we have across the board. Our receiving core is extremely deep, from Colicchio to Will Kuhn to Will Blake to Dylan Harrington. And, we had Derek Bowen who was playing, but he got hurt. And, we got, and then even our tight ends and obviously our running backs. And, I mean, we had a freshman quarterback step in and, played lights out his 2 starts. And so, I think the depth that we've shown has been the one key thing, because, we've dealt with some tough injuries this year. I mean, even compared to last year, we had a lot of injuries, but this year we've dealt with some tough injuries. Not many teams can say they lost their top 2 running backs and their quarterback, and they almost didn't skip a beat. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I just feel like that's one thing that's really kept us afloat and is what's going to help us continue to have a successful season throughout.
And so you guys are off to a 6-1 start this year, completely different from last year. You guys kind of stumbled out of the gate. You guys came out really strong and have just continued right on through up until this past week. It's kind of the way the team played so far kind of matched your expectations you had for the team coming into the season?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, even though, we started out so slow last year, we finished so hot last year. We won 7 of our last 9 games last season. So, we had this past weekend was our first regular season loss since we played Buffalo State last year. So, I mean, to say we had been on such a hot streak, we just wanted to keep things rolling. That was a lot of the offseason. A lot of the offseason talk was, we had a good thing going at the end of the season. Let's, keep that momentum up, keep it moving forward into the season coming up. So, and we've played very well. We have played very well. We've had our moments where, things have looked a little bleak, but, at the end of the day, we've played well for the most part throughout the season, so can't complain about it.
Yeah, and 6-1, that does drop you out of first place in the Empire 8, though, and so you've got, obviously, that game against Alfred's going to be huge. Final week, assuming that they can somehow get there undefeated, that would be make-or-break game for the Empire 8. Is it difficult to stay focused on task? Are you guys looking ahead to Alfred? Ithaca's next, we got to focus on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you got to take things week by week. As cliche as it sounds, you got to take things week by week. Because in this conference, 3rd-ranked conference in the country, you can't overlook anybody. A team like Ithaca, 2 weeks ago, they were looking like their offense couldn't do anything, puts up 50 points on Hartwick. And then, next week they get beat. You can't overlook anybody. So, yes, obviously that's something that's in the back of our minds. And, we know it's coming. And, if we win the next 2 games, obviously that last game, if they're undefeated still, we control our own destiny. And if we beat them, we win and we're in. We know this. But we can't. We know not to overlook Ithaca. It's always a very disciplined, hard-nosed football team every year. So.
All right, and so last segment we had a couple seniors on. You two are a senior academically, but obviously you had your first year at University of Buffalo. Came here, so you still have a year of eligibility left. So what are your plans moving forward? Obviously, coming back to the team again next year, doing that.
Well, I'm actually going to be meeting with my advisor today to see exactly what my plans are going to be for graduation. What I plan on doing is next semester, just take some courses. I'm going to see if I'm going to be allowed to graduate in May, and then I'll be coming back next fall, taking a few more classes, and then that'll be my last semester of football, obviously, as well. So, just trying to, finish out the last few semesters of college. It's weird to think that I'm almost done with it now. So.
And you're a communication major. We've seen you over on this side of the CTA table a little bit. You got any specific plans that you'd like to, sort of job you want to sort of lean towards after you graduate?
Yeah. See, I don't know. I honestly feel like I want to put my hand in a few different pots. I actually this past summer I interned at a radio station from back home, so I got to see the radio side. Obviously working here at CTV and Fisher Sports Desk, and then also even writing for Cardinal Media. So I don't know. I feel like whatever opportunity I get, I just want to make the best of it. It's really no specific for me. you know, as long as I'm able to do something in the communication field in general. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I really just want to be able to try a few different things.
All right, and finally getting back towards football, got the bye week this week. Could you possibly timed out a better bye week given the health of your team?
Oh my gosh! And we were, talking about this when our schedule came out, that this was probably the most important time for the bye week to be. The late stretch that we'll have now. We'll have 3 games after the bye, and it'll get us going for the postseason. Yeah, it couldn't have been placed at a better time. A lot of guys are banged up. I'm banged up personally. So yeah, everybody will just be able to get some rest and recharge their batteries and just get ready to go for the back half of the season.
Yeah,
so.
How's the bye week? What do you guys take practice? How's the bye week different than a normal week of practice, stuff like that?
Well, the bye week is different. We have practice on Wednesday and Thursday, so no Tuesday practice. We have to lift on our own, and practice is normally generally shorter practices. And so the thing with the bye week is your practices, it's more so just to keep you in rhythm, keep your legs moving, get the blood flowing still, making sure you're not just, laying around all week. So yeah, it really is just to keep you moving, keep everybody's energy still moving and things like that. But at the end of the day too, it's the time to rest. Bye week is really meant for you to rest your body. So that's why we don't have as many practices. So that's why our practices are shorter. So I feel like you said, it couldn't have been placed at a better, more perfect time, and it really is just going to be beneficial for us all.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Kyrie. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Fisher Football Focus. Be sure to check back next week when we do our in-season recap, reviewing each of the Cardinals' first 7 games. For Cardinal Television, I'm James Bailey. Catch you next time.